everybody, and welcome back to the Alpine F1 Manager 22 career mode. We're going to go to Jeddah in this episode, and we're just going to go straight out the gate and press continue and see what we get. Alright, we get our race simulator upgraded. Let's see what that does. We get plus 40 weekly experience, a little bit more monthly upkeep. It's 2.8 to upgrade it again, so I don't think we're going to do that. We're going to continue again. Sweet, we got manufacturing completed on our suspension. Let's go to cars and warehouse. Let's go to side pods. Whoops. Suspension. Yeah, so we have 4 copies, so we're sitting pretty there. Got a race preview for Saudi Arabia. Nothing of severe urgency here. Alright, so we have a race prep for Saudi Arabia. Performance targets. I think the only thing that we're going to guarantee is that we can get both cars in the top 15. And I think we'll do that for a while until I have a better read on our car performance. But this is going to be our performance targets. And we're going to move on and get ready for practice. Which we're going to skip through, and I'm going to really try to compress this episode as much as possible. The races take way longer than it did on Motorsport Manager, so I think, unfortunately, we're going to just have everything go to one race per episode. So looking at our Practice 1 preparation, I said before, we're putting Duhan in the car, I think, every practice session, just to kind of see what we can do with him and potentially see how high we can get his rating to go in. Maybe even if within a season we could get him to be as good to potentially take one of these F1 seats. So we're going to focus on the hard compound, just trying to focus on getting the setup right, and we're going to skip through all 3 practice sessions. Alright, so we have finished our 3 practice sessions. First session we finished 4th with Alonso. We had Duhan in the car, finished 7th. Practice 2 is a little bit more interesting because we had Esteban Ocon in 8th, and Alonso crashed during the practice. He damaged his front wing very badly, and then also damaged his suspension part. I'll insert a clip of it right now.
Oh, and that's a crash! Let's see what happened there. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. Dear me, they won't have been expecting that.
So yeah, front wings done. We got our backups and stuff ready, so that shouldn't be an issue. We're just down a spare for the weekend. I also believe we're down a suspension piece. It was only minor damage. I think if it's minor damage, it can be repaired, but that's besides the point. Practice 3, we were conserving on our tires that we had because we were trying to save some sets for qualifying, which we are going to go into right now. Okay, so we are going to put Alonso on a 2 flying lap strategy. We're going to wait a couple minutes and we're going to send him out, but we're also going to send Esteban Ocon out on a 3 lap strategy because we're down a set of soft tires. This is for getting through Q3. This is to trying to get through Q2, and potentially we can dip into this to get into Q2. And then we have a set that's going to open up for us. But I'd like to keep at least 1 set of softs for the race. That being said, car setup is untested. We just changed 1 small little thing on it. So hopefully it's a 100% confidence heading into the race weekend. But we're going to start qualifying. Right, so we're qualifying, getting ready to go.
Clear.
Going 16 times. We're going to wait until about hits 14 minutes, and then we're going to send out Alonso and then Ocon. So we'll send Ocon out first. Alright, so we're going to ride on board with Esteban Ocon for at least just his first lap here. We're going to put his time up. We're going to see where he's going to end up compared to everyone else. 2 times speed. I'd like to do 1 time speed, but just kind of how long everything takes in this career, I'm kind of saving up the time for the actual race because we'll want to kind of bounce between 1 and 2 times in the race in certain situations. But this race, I think, is going to be a bit of a DRS train, kind of like what we saw at Bahrain, as we see that Ocon is green as first sector, of course. We're also going to show what Alonso's doing as well. That's important. Yeah, Alonso's up. We have a Haas in our way, so that's going to cost us time there. And then he's going to cross the line here, and then he's going to start his cooldown lap. Alright, so we're going to fast forward until Alonso is in the box, and then we're going to wait and kind of see what we're going to do with Fernando. So Ocon's going to be... I think Ocon's going to come into the pits. No, Ocon's got 1 more lap left. We've got Alonso in the pits. I think Alonso has got 1.9 to the good. I think he's fine. We've got about a second, so we've waited too long with Ocon, so we're just we made our decision, and now we have to lay with it. So we are gonna go about
session over.
8 times speed here. We're gonna go 4 times actually, because it's gonna be a little bit more dramatic. Okay, Ocon's getting some people finishing ahead of him. Oh god. Hopefully Magnussen doesn't jump up. Oh, we just got eliminated. Dang it. So with Ocon eliminated, we had the guarantee that we were going to finish at least both drivers in above 15th place, and we've failed that, so we're going to lose money on that, which is unfortunate. A little too aggressive there with Ocon with his strategy. I like those push and conserve laps, and I want to conserve as much tires as I can, maybe a little too much, so potentially something to look at for next week. Maybe we can just do single lap runs where we send them out and then have them come back in, and then we'll send them back out again. So unfortunate there for Ocon. So those eliminated in Q1 are Ocon, Vettel, Albon, Stroll, and Latifi. So we're going to move on to Q2.
Okay, radio check.
Radio check, okay? Radio check.
Okay, so starting Q2 here. I'm going to wait till about 10 minutes, and then we're going to send out Alonso. Alright, so we've got a gap there, so we're going to send him out. Alright, so we're going to pause, and we're going to go 2 times speed. And we're going to jump on board with the 2-time world champion, Fernando Alonso. So we've got 4 times on the board. We've got Russell, Joe, Schumacher, and Magnussen. I think we should easily make it into Q3, maybe, hopefully. Yeah, we just sent Alonso out on the single lap. It's very easy to kind of get held up by other cars. So hopefully we don't run into anybody here. Looks like we've got a clear racetrack ahead of us. Doesn't seem like anybody's on an in lap or on an out lap, so we should be clear here to just go full throttle to finish. And as I say that, it does look like we have some cars actually slowing ahead. So hopefully we're able to get by him here before the braking zone. We had to slow up for the Red Bull, dang it. Alright, and Alonso comes across the line, and he's going to go 5th. So that's going to put him not as good as he potentially should be. So we're going to immediately send him back out again, but we're going to send him out on a brand new set of tires. We'll actually wait until about 3 minutes. We're going to be one of those top tier F1 teams. We're going to wait till the last minute and bitch about traffic. Alright, so we're going to reconfigure. I forgot to reconfigure. It's going to take 3 seconds to do that. Run plan, we're just doing the 1 lap. We're going to confirm. Once that's finished, oh, we need to look at the pit lane, actually. We got cars coming out. Got a lot of cars coming out. Alright. I think now is the time to send Alonso out. So we should have a decent gap to the cars around us. We only got cars behind us, which is fine. Alright, so we're going to fast forward here until he hits the last sector, and then we're going to pause. We are going to go on to the lap times here. We're going to go on to 2x speed. And we're going to see what Mr. Fernando Alonso can do here at in Saudi Arabia. Alright, what is he going to do in his first sector? Need green lap times only. Got 16 seconds left in the session, so we're only going to get this one try. We are up in our first sector. So we're 5/10 behind Hamilton. We're currently in P10. The race engineer is congratulating us when we haven't even finished our lap yet. We've got the session ending. We're down our middle sector. Hopefully we're up the final sector. We got held up by the Red Bull the last time around. Coming out of the final corner, Fernando is going to go P7. Hopefully he can hang on. We've got Magnussen and Norris behind us. I'd be worried about Norris. But Norris is out. So is Ricciardo, and so is Magnussen. So we are through. In saying we are through, we have Magnussen, Norris, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, and Schumacher eliminated in that order. We're going to move on to Q3.
And another radio check.
Alright, so for the start of Q3, we are going to immediately send out Alonso. Just immediately send him out. Get him going. We're going to actually skip his first lap. He's on 90% worn tires. And he's got 2 cooldown laps. So he's going to get 2 banker laps in, and then we're going to send him out in a brand new set for his final lap. So he's now on a cooldown lap here. We're going to pause here. We're going to go on board with him. 2x speed. We are going to go look at his times. So he is currently 8th. I think that's 8th out of everybody. It's down to that low fuel run there. Or the high fuel run mode there, I should say. Alright, let's see what he does here. First sector. First sector, he is going to be up 33.1. Don't know what that is in relation to the other times out here. Best time of a 1:34. Okay, he's going to be able to pass that car fairly easily, not getting in a situation where he has to lift. Hopefully he's going to have enough time to kind of come around and be able to stick on those brand new sets of tires and find a gap. But he's going to come across the line, and he is going to go 7th. Alright, so Alonso's heading out for his lap. We've got a decent gap ahead of us to Perez. Hopefully Hamilton doesn't catch us and pass us on our flying lap, but with him behind us on pace. I forgot to pause and show you the onboard. So we are going to jump on board here. Actually, you know what? We're going to just show from the outside camera because we don't usually give it that much love. It's kind of cool seeing all these circuits in this way. So we are 2/10 down from George Russell, and we are less than a tenth ahead of Zhou. We are up our first sector. Seems like a similar time to what we had the first time out. Let's see what we can do in the second sector. Up again, 28.8. It says Delta. I don't know what the Delta is too. I don't know if that Delta is from the top car or not. Alright, so coming around the final corner here, where is he going to finish? And we're going to go 7th. And we drop down to 8th. We're going to start ahead of Gasly and Guan Yu Zhou. So your top 10 for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is going to be Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Bottas, Russell, Alonso in 8th, Gasly, and Zhou Guan Yu. Rest of your grid is going to be Magnussen, Norris, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Schumacher, Ocon, Vettel, Albon, Stroll, and Latifi.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
We didn't see any
That's a glitch.
unexpected prowess from Alpine during qualifying, but they did well for themselves. Everything's still open to them for the race. Alfa Romeo managed to meet expectations during qualifying, and if they can keep this up, they'll have a good race ahead of them. We're under clear skies here tonight, certainly to the team's relief. Now they can focus their strategy on pushing their cars as much as they can.
Well, this is certainly going to be a challenging but no doubt exciting race here in Jeddah.
Alright, so getting ready for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're going to go in two different strategies here, one a little bit more aggressive than the other. Alonso doesn't have to do as much tire management. Looks like we're going to pit him somewhere around lap 20. Hopefully after lap 20, and then just put him on the mediums, and he should be able to ride to the end. For Ocon, however, Ocon's going to go on from the hard tire to the soft tire. We're going to have Alonso actually pushing in the first stint on the medium, so hopefully he can gain some track position, get up front, whilst Esteban's going to just be riding back here, kind of prolonging his stint and potentially being able to catch some people out on strategy. So we're going to keep him out as long as possible, maybe luck out with with a safety car or something, which we haven't seen yet. And yeah, so we're pushing, going overtake, neutral, and going overtake. So we're going to move on to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
It looks like clear weather tonight for this race, with the drivers now just taking position on the grid. Looking here at Fernando Alonso. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalize on it? Further back, we've got Esteban Ocon. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. The race start is mere seconds away. It's almost time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Supposed to be a light fixture here that they missed. Or though the light fixture was there, it's just out of camera view. So we are going to just view the first lap at 1 speed. We're going to watch what Alonso's doing. We started 8th and 16th. We're going to see if we can gain any positions on this first lap here. So Alonso's going to be pushing. I said we're going to watch it at 1 times. We're just going to skip it 2 times. We're going to let them push until... Let them push for like 2 laps, and then we're going to have them go straight onto to neutral. Because if we can get by somebody here without a DRS assistance, or actually maybe it's... maybe a little bit more worth it to kind of hold on to your ERS until you can use it with DRS. Yeah, we'll we're going to put both of these guys back onto neutral, and then we're going to go to the overhead view, and we are going to watch the rest, not the rest of the race, but we're going to watch a good portion of the race here. We're going to go 16 times here. We're going to see if anything happens. We've got Ocon up to 15th.
And DRS enabled.
Alright, so we've got DRS enabled. So we're going to see which one of our drivers gets DRS, and it looks like both of them. Ocon's a little bit out of DRS range of Mick Schumacher, but we're up to 6th place here. I think that's going to be a little bit of a back and forth thing throughout the race. Ooh, we can watch this double overtake.
Okay, so there we have the Alpine.
Does he have DRS? No, he doesn't. Without DRS, we passed Bottas and Hamilton.
And they've really capitalized on...
Hopefully we can keep that driver around for a long... Oh. Whoops. Yeah, so 7th place. Looks like we have a bit of a DRS strain between the... we'll actually go to 2 times the view. Yep. Got a bit of a DRS strain here with the two Mercedes, Russell and Bottas. So interesting. So we're gonna look at the tires here.
Alpine just
Yeah,
advanced.
it looks like we're kind of in equal terms here with everyone on tires. We're gonna be a little bit harder on our tires just because we're planned on it. So we're gonna keep this on the leader tab so we can kind of see how far back we are from Verstappen and Perez. So Ocon has passed Tsunoda. Ocon is now past Magnussen. Magnussen has now gotten past him.
It's a race position gains for Mercedes.
This really lends itself to micromanaging the entire race at 1 or 2 times speed. We had a lockup for Ocon. That's not good. How many positions did we just lose there? Where is he? All the way down to 16th again.
Seems to have been a lockup. We can take a look now. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. Well,
So
they've
he
lost
goes
it.
off,
They've
he
locked up.
stops, and we just gave away all the positions that we gained in that first stint, so that's good.
And that was a bitter blow.
I love how over the top the reactions are to stuff happening on track by the team. Okay, so Ocon 15th. He's got 76% on his tires. Doesn't look like he took out too much wear. That was a big thing with Alonso. When Alonso was when he crashed in practice, he actually tore up his tires pretty good. So we were unable to kind of finish the rest of our runs in practice because we were gonna have to bring out a new set of tires that we couldn't afford to do with. So we're sitting pretty here with Mr. Fernando. So we're gonna look actually at our optimal strategy window, and I mean we're pushing and we're gonna hit our window here pretty easily. So we're gonna pit on, what did it say, lap 20? So if we can go to lap 21 with Alonso, who's gonna be the first person to pit, yeah, we're sitting in a good position here. Is Ocon in DRS range? No, he's not. So we're gonna actually have him push.
Come on.
Actually, you know what? No, we're not having him push because he has to go long because he's gonna go onto the soft tire.
Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please. Yeah.
I'll let Alonso push. We were on lap 18. We're gonna wait until that baby says 20, and then we are gonna pit Alonso on lap 21. We are all the way up to 3rd. There's a yellow flag that popped up there for a second. There's the optimal strategy window.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
All right. Joe is locked up. Are we gonna pit this lap? Or are we gonna pit this lap? Or should we extend? I think we're gonna extend 1 lap, especially if Verstappen can get by us here, and we can kind of use him for DRS here.
Red Bull gained a place.
All right, so we're gonna use overtake to kind of stick with Verstappen here, but then we are gonna pit in onto the hard compounds for Fernando. And then we're gonna remember to put him on to harvest for a little bit. At least for when he's coming out of pit road. I don't know what that does for him here. We're gonna try to break the DRS train that we are gonna get stuck into. So we have a good gap over Joe. So we are gonna use deploy to hopefully keep Joe behind us. And Ocon is still sitting pretty. Okay, we're out of
DRS is disabled.
DRS, so
Copy.
we're gonna just do a little bit of harvesting for a little bit. Just like 1 zone or whatever, and then we're gonna go straight on neutral. Alright, where is Ocon? Where is my boy? My boy is behind Mick Schumacher. Okay. We need to not have Alonso pushing so hard. Actually, we'll let him push for a little bit because he has the tire
Sounds like someone's locked up.
tire wear to do so. Got Vettel with a lockup.
Alpine just advanced.
Ocon has passed Schumacher. Schumacher is pitting, or no, just passed us. We're going to let Ocon push on the fuel. Not going to let him push on the tires. And we're going to let him do overtake on the... Alright, so he's going to pass Mick Schumacher. Okay, he's going to pass Mick Schumacher there. But we're going to let him deploy so we can get away from him.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
No more DRS.
Alright, and we've absolutely screwed the ERS. So the ERS management here seems very important. So we'll maintain that low ERS for a little bit. Looks like the fuel balance, or the fuel amount of fuel we have left is pretty low. So we're going to look here to see where Alonso is compared to the two cars behind him. Gasly gets by Alonso. Okay, we're going to look at the map here. Where is Alonso in comparison to the two Mercedes? Okay, we are going to harvest behind, but push behind Mr. Pierre Gasly. Just so we can hold the DRS zone, conserve some batteries, and then hopefully get by Gasly as well. Okay, so we're passing Gasly here. He's passing us back. Alright, so we just passed him there. So we're going to just deploy just for this whole section down here, and hopefully we can gap him to where he's not in our DRS zone. Alright, so we're looking here at our ERS deployment. And... Alright, I think he's out of the range, so we're going to go into neutral. And then we're going to go on to balanced with the fuel. Alright, so Ocon. When does Ocon need to pit? Ocon needs to pit on lap 34. And we are on 33, and looks like he can continue on for a little bit here, so... Ocon's sitting good, so we're going to let him attack. Just to hopefully build a gap. Wear them tires out. Put himself in a situation where he can pit. Onto the soft tire. Alright, so we have the tires. They are very worn now, but we're going to pit onto the super soft tire, or the soft tire. And we should be able to get that to go to the end of the race. I understand that using this this view maybe is a little bit boring compared to, you know, the flashy, cool, you know, graphical side of this, but I'm just trying to get through this in a time efficient fashion, so we're not wasting, you know, hours like I did in my first episode. Just you know, figuring stuff out. But we are gonna go on standard with Mr. Esteban Ocon. We're gonna let him. How far is he behind Tsunoda? We're actually gonna let him harvest. Where's Alonso compared to the Mercedes? We're going to let him harvest as well. We're going to have him go standard on the tires. And hopefully, we're going to panic when that gap hits about 5 seconds between the Mercedes and Hamilton. The Mercedes and Russell, sorry.
Is that a lock up on the track?
So Gasly locks up turn 15. Where... Okay, so we're going to go neutral with Ocon. We're just trying to save battery here just to have it later if we need it. We got 10 laps remaining. Our ERS is fully charged, so we can go on neutral with Alonso. Where is Ocon, and who is he behind? Ocon is behind Mick Schumacher. Alright, what is he looking... Okay, so he's looking good with the fuel. So we're going to let him burn up his fuel here to get in DRS's range. What are we looking like with the strategy here? Just wanted to see. We're looking good. So I think we're gonna let Ocon kind of hold position here for at least another 2 or so laps, and then we're gonna let him push. All right, so he gets by Sonoda.
Alpine just advanced.
Hopefully he can. Nope, Sonoda's gonna have the DRS here. All right, so we're gonna let him deploy, and then now we're gonna start the push. Or you know what? No, we're not even gonna push. I think it's the soft tire. We're gonna be wearing them out so quickly that I'd be worried about running out of that crucial energy. So we've used deploy to gap. Oh, they have a crash. Where's the crash at? Where's the crash? Who crashed? We're gonna try to find it before. Or who's crashed? Who's crashed? And is it gonna bring out a safety car? That's important.
There's been a crash. Sounds
Oh,
like a
Bottas
single
crashed.
car. Let's take a look at the replay. Now we see Valtteri Bottas.
All right, is he moving though? So is this gonna be an issue?
Oh, a nasty crash there.
Okay, so he's behind us with the Mercedes, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, we already got the yellow flags cleared. So let's just see where we're sitting. We got Ocon in 13th. How much do we have to gain to get near Bottas? Bottas is pitted. We have a chance to get in the points here with Ocon. And I said we aren't going to push, but we need to push to catch these guys. So we're going to view where Ocon is. Alonso looks safe. We're going to let him push on his tires as well. So we're going to view kind of where he is on his strategy. Yeah, he should be fine. So we're going to let him push as well. So he can kind of manage his stuff by himself. But we are going to jump with Mr. Esteban Ocon here. See that he's got a bunch of cars ahead of him, so he just needs to catch them. So we are going to start deploying here to hopefully gain and catch these guys in these next couple laps. What are their tires looking like? We got some cars ahead of us on the hard and the mediums. All right. So we're pushing, getting very aggressive here. We just need to catch the DRS, and then once we're in the DRS, we're gonna conserve. Not conserve. We're gonna harvest, and then we are going to use our. All right. Do we have the DRS? Okay, we have the DRS. So we're gonna harvest, and then we're going to go. We're gonna let him push still, but we're gonna go standard on the tires. So we can hold in this DRS here for a minute until we're fairly charged up, and then we can just go run overtake for a long period of time. So we got 3 cars ahead of us that we need to catch and pass. Alonso still sitting pretty. He's got that 9-second gap over Russell. About 30 seconds or 25 seconds off of Perez. Alright, so we're going to hold this line here. I know it's frustrating to kind of sit behind all these cars when we know that we have a better pace than they do. But we are just going to wait, and it even looks like, is there another car that's in reach? Potentially? Is that Gasly I see up there? No, that looks like another lap car. Okay. We're letting the ERS charge here. We get by one of the Williams. Looks like we might even get by Norris here just with... no, he's got DRS as well, so... Alright, we gotta charge this DRS up, or ERS up, and then we're gonna go, we're gonna go hard on the tires. Once that's, we get the confirmation it is full. And then, yeah, we're gonna have a fun little, battle here to the end of the race. Alright, looks like we've lost touch with Zhou. So we're going to actually... In this next zone here, we're going to actually pause, and we're going to have him go on overtake, and then we're going to let him go aggressive on the tires. So hopefully we can get by both of these guys. Maybe by this corner even. Okay. Come on, let's get by Norris. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. So we're going to pause. We're going to go and deploy. Hopefully we can gap. Need to keep an eye
That's a good
on our
overtake from Alpine.
ERS. So we need to get within a second here of Zhou. Gotten him with the second of Zhou. So we're going to go on to neutral. And we're also not going to push the tire. We'll screw it. We'll tack the tire. So get 10 points that we can use up in this this final little bit of the race here. Alright, Alonso looks safe. So this is starting lap 49. Alright. How far are they behind us? Okay, they're almost a second behind, so we're gonna harvest, and we're actually gonna go light, or we're gonna go standard on the tires. So we have a whole nother lap here, 2 more laps that we have to do here with Ocon. So we're gonna actually go 8 times here. We're gonna let him conserve behind him, just so he can get a big chunk of ERS here on this this final lap. So this is the final lap for him. We're gonna go on to 2 times here, switch on to the onboard camera. Alright, and then we're gonna let him go overtake, and then we're gonna let him attack on the tires here. So we're gonna watch his little battle here. Need Ocon to get close enough to him.
And Sainz crosses the line first.
So Carlos
He's
Sainz
taken the
wins.
win.
Now, please. Press
Where
the
is
overtake now.
Alonso?
Okay.
Alright, we need to get by Zhou here.
That was a checker flag.
We had the good car,
Alright,
so we deserve these double points.
we need Ocon to get
Good job,
by him
everyone.
here. This will be for 9th place.
Happy
Come
with this,
on,
yeah,
you
yeah,
got
that's
it.
all
No,
good.
you don't. What are you doing? Ocon, you had the shot. You ruined it. Ah, alright.
That's the checker flag.
5th and 10th.
Good job, guys.
Pretty pleased with that.
Normal in-lap procedures, please.
What a flawless weekend here from Fernando Alonso. His team must be proud.
Huh? What's this?
Great racing from Alpine here today. Some high quality work all round.
I couldn't agree more. It just shows what this team can do when all the pistons are firing.
And after this result, the team is 4th in the constructor standings.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
Alright, so these are your results from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. That was, to be fair, I know it's a little frustrating and, you know, kind of how you have to manage stuff, but at the end of the race, if we have those situations where we can kind of focus on the management and whatnot of the at the end, that I think that's really good. And it's really exciting when you have these battles that you're really a part of. You know, that's something that kind of Motorsport Manager kind of lacked, is you have you're not really like micromanaging stuff kind of coming across the line, you know, where it's real tangible when you can ride on board and actually kind of see that you're within, like, you know, DRS zone and all that stuff. It makes those results special. But we lose out to Zhou for the 2 points there, so we gained 6 spots with Ocon, so we did a fantastic job there to go from 16th to 10th. Alonso goes from 8th to 5th in the race, so we get 11 points total from the race. Sainz is your winner, Verstappen second, Leclerc third step of the podium. Gasly 8th, Joe 9th, and then you have your usual contenders in here. We're going to look at the driver's standings after 2 races. The 2 Ferraris are on top with Sainz, top of the board by 3 points. Got Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, and now we have Alonso in 5th place. Ocon finds himself all the way in 10th, and then these are your drivers who have not scored points yet. So these are your constructor standings after 2 races. It's kind of cool. It shows you the like different stats and stuff. It doesn't give you like a super detailed one, but yeah, it shows you your wins, podiums, fastest laps, pole positions, and races finished. So Ferrari are on top with 85. Red Bull are second with 57. Mercedes are third with 26 points. You have Alpine. We have moved up ahead of Alfa Romeo. We are now in 4th. Alfa Romeo moves down to 5th. AlphaTauri is the final team that has scored points, and then those who have not scored points yet are Haas, McLaren, Aston, and Williams. So looking at our driver experience, Jack Doohan gets a developmental point, so we're actually going to be able to kind of show you how that works because I haven't even seen that yet, so that'll be fun to do. Alright, so looking at our finances, we had Alonso getting his bonus clause of finishing 6th or higher, so he's get $510,000 removed. We didn't hit the goal that we said that we were going to hit, which was have both drivers qualify in the top 15 because I'm stupid. So we are going to leave with $3.6 million. Alright, so getting ready to finish up the episode, we have a post-race inbox stuff. We exceeded expectations. That's great to see. Post-race. Apparently this stuff is kind of important to read. On a separate note, our telemetry shows that the low-speed cornering of Car 1 could be better compared to the grid. We should design a new part to improve this. We also noticed that cornering performance of Fernando Alonso could be improved. We should consider developing them in this area when they've gained enough experience to make them a more well-rounded driver. Okay, so it's mostly stuff that we've already preemptively kind of gone for, so we're going to go ahead and look at Jack Doohan's development point. Alright, so from Doohan's screen here, we have a development point that we can spend. Oh, so that's cool. Shows you the experience that he needs. So we gained 616 experience from the first week, 855 from the second. So it looks like he needs about 3,000 to be able to upgrade. So we're going to find his lowest stat, which seems to be his smoothness, which has to do with, yeah, making those tires last, and I think that's pretty important. So we're going to develop him in that aspect. It's only 1 point, nothing major, but eventually over time we're going to see his rating go up the more points we get. So yeah, it's a little weird to kind of only get, you know, a couple bonus points. I guess with the how long the season is, you'll be able to accrue a bunch of them throughout the season. Maybe having him continuously in the car, you see how it's a little exponential here with his experience gain, to where he's going to be able to gain a bunch, you know, throughout the year, and potentially, you know, gain, instead of only gaining maybe like 15 points, he maybe can gain like 25 points. Because if we gain 25 and we put it all on one little stat here, you know, that'll probably boost his rating up by maybe 2 or 3. So yeah, this is just an interesting thing that we're gonna have to learn, that not a lot of people have experience with, because I don't think many people outside of the devs have, you know, spent or have done multiple seasons yet. So this will be something to kind of follow throughout this this career mode. Alright, so that concludes today's episode. We did good. I know we could have done better with Ocon. We screwed up qualifying, but you know, we at least had both drivers in the points, so we didn't kind of waste you know, half our team for the weekend. We got Alonso 5th in the standings, Ocon 10th in the standings. So yeah, we got some, you know, stuff coming up here. We got some designs that we're working on. That rear wing coming in should be good for our car. We might be able to develop a copy before Albert Park, and then we'll be able to put that on both cars. But yeah, this game is going to be interesting to watch kind of develop throughout the year, and kind of the things that we need to look out for, and maybe some of the flaws of the game that we'll learn along the way. But yeah, this has been a fun experience so far. Hopefully this episode is way shorter, maybe even a third of the length of the first one I put out. And yeah, if you liked today's episode, like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb YouTube stuff, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.